everyone. Thanks for coming today. My name is Amie McColl and I'm a registered massage therapist. I have been a registered massage therapist for about 12 or 13 years now, and I've been teaching baby massage for about 4 years now, ever since my little one was born. So welcome to the class today. Thanks for coming and taking the time to be here. So one of the reasons why we do baby massage, there's a number of different reasons for doing baby massage. So some key reasons is encouraging the social and emotional development of your little one. It's encouraging language development, learning your baby's cues, learning their communication. There's also a lot of techniques that we'll do today that will help to stimulate the cross pattern between the hemispheres of the brain as we're moving different body parts and doing range of motion. But one of the other really strong benefits of baby massage is that bonding. For some parents, they haven't been able to bond with their little ones yet. Doesn't matter what age it is that you are starting to do baby massage, this is a beautiful way of encouraging that bond. So even if you're the primary parent and you don't feel like you have that bond yet, or if you're a grandparent or a spouse or an aunt or an uncle, doing baby massage is a wonderful way of encouraging that bond with your little one and helping to get that love to grow, because you've got that skin-to-skin contact, you've got the eye contact, you have the language communication, you have the smell of your little one, yeah, all of those wonderful things, that cuddle time and that real connection where you get to inspect every part of your baby's body. So it really helps you to connect with your little one. Before we get started, there's 5 key things that I want you to remember when you are starting to do baby massage at home. The first thing is that you want to have a calm, happy baby. A calm, happy baby is a baby who is making eye contact, who's smiling, who is happy, engaging, not crying, not fussy, all of those sorts of things. You yourself also want to be calm. You want to be reflecting the type of feeling and emotion that you want to have your baby respond back to you with. So if you're feeling too frustrated or too tired or too anxious, the baby's really going to pick up on that, and then they're not going to be able to have a really good massage session with you. The next thing is that you want to choose a warm, comfortable location. So the floor is always great because that means a baby can roll around, they can move, they can do whatever they need to do. But if that's not comfortable for you, getting down onto the floor, then you could massage on the couch, you could massage on your bed, you could massage in the shower or the bathtub. As long as you always have a hand in contact with your baby to make sure that your baby is safe, then anywhere is a fine location as long as both of you are comfortable. And you do want it to be a warm room, so if you need to turn the temperature up, even in here today, if you need to turn the temperature up, let me know and we can make any adjustments. The next thing to know is that babies like really firm pressure. They can handle quite a bit of pressure. If it's too light or too tickly, then they end up getting quite overstimulated or fussy and a little bit irritated with the massage. But when it's slow and firm, they really like it. It helps to slow their nervous system down and helps them to really get into the massage. They will also let you know if it is too firm. So they'll do things like call out, or they'll pull their limb back if they're a little bit older. They'll cry right away. It will be very clear. It will be a different type of communication to let you know that, that they're not liking what's going on. And then the last thing is to know when to stop. So babies can get fussy sometimes, we know this. Sometimes it's because they are hungry, sometimes they need their diaper changed. So you want to make sure when you're massaging that you check in with those 2 things if your little one is starting to get fussy. If those are not the issues, then it could be how quickly you're moving, it could be the pressure you're using, it could also be the area of the body that they're working on. They might just not like to have their feet or their legs worked on and they'd rather that you massage somewhere else. So try changing all of those things up, and then if they're still very upset, then they're clearly telling you that they don't want to be massaged right now, so you need to stop the treatment. Really clear signs when a baby does not want massage or is quite fussy or angry is not making eye contact, so avoiding looking at you, arching their back, calling out, turning their body away from you. Those are those clear signs that you know that they're telling you that they don't want to have massage today. we're gonna get ready to start the massage, and I'm gonna place this little one in front of me so that you can see clearly, but you can massage from any position. So this is a great position because you can have that eye contact with your baby, hello baby, and you can move their body parts around. But some little ones really want to be close. So for some babies, you might need to be placing them on your legs in front of you. You might actually need to be sitting up where they're propped up on their knees so that you can do the massage from here. Other little ones like to be massaged in a cradle hold, so you can just massage whatever body parts that you have available. This is also a great position to nurse and massage in at the same time. And other little ones, they also really want to be even closer and snuggled right up there. So this allows you to get a lot of massage while you're holding your little one up here, and you can use the other hand to do that massage work. So today, even though I'm going to demonstrate from here, and I'm demonstrating from here because it's easier for you to see, don't feel like this is the position you need to stay in. So change based on what your baby's cues are and what they're trying to tell you. So the first thing that we need to do is get our baby's consent. Ask them if they want to have a massage today. Right from the start, babies need to learn that they can give consent to have their bodies touched, and we also need to learn that babies can communicate that consent. They can tell what they want to have happen at that time. So we're gonna say, hello baby, how are you? Would you like to have a massage today? Now the first couple of times the baby's probably not going to respond because they don't know what massage is yet, but you'll find the more that you practice massage, the more that they'll actually communicate back to you what they'll want. And a lot of times, especially if your baby really loves massage, they'll get quite excited and they'll start to kick their legs and they'll smile and coo at you right away because they know what's about to come next. Another thing when babies are communicating is that they need to process what they're hearing and what they're experiencing in their environment. So you'll find that when you are massaging your little one, they will look at you and then they will look away. And then they'll come back and they'll look at you again. And they'll do that a number of times. And every time they look away, that's when they're processing. They need to kind of shut everything out and integrate that into their system and then be able to come back to have that communication. So when they're not coming back, that's when we're learning that they're not wanting to have that communication, they're not wanting that interaction at that time. Okay, so now that we know that little one wants to have a massage, we are going to start, and we're going to start with singing. Singing is a beautiful way of engaging with your baby. It helps to teach brain development, helps to teach language, helps to teach socialization. So we want to sing whenever. You'll notice today in the class, whenever it seems to get a little bit loud and the babies are getting a little distracted, or even if the parents are getting a little distracted, I'll throw some songs in here or there. Okay, so we're going to start off with Wheels on the Bus, and we're going to use the arms and legs to do some range of motion. So if you want to grab your little one's feet, and we will get started. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. Let's come up to the arms. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The doors on the bus go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The doors on the bus go open and shut, all through the town. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all through the town. All right, so now we're going to get into massage. So you're going to take the oil that I've provided for you today. Oil that you can use at home is anything that's edible for the baby. So coconut oil can be great, grapeseed oil, light olive oil, almond oil, any of those are fine. As long as you're willing to put it into your body, then it's okay for it to go into your baby's body. So try to avoid anything that is a mineral-based oil or just an oil that's synthetically made. So you want to get a little bit of oil on your hands, enough that you have glide on the skin, but not so much that you're going to slip right off of the baby and then feel like you don't have control over their limb. So the other thing is that we're going to repeat everything that we do on one leg on the other leg. So if you have to take a break or you need to move around, don't worry about that. We'll catch up when we do the other leg. So we're going to take one leg and we're going to get started. And we're starting off with a technique that's called effleurage. Effleurage is a Swedish term for slow continuous stroke. We're using a little bit more force as we work our way up the limb and then a slight bit of force on the way back down. Using slow, firm pressure, and this is a great way to introduce touch to the baby, making eye contact, smiling, and saying, we're massaging your leg right now, little one. Yeah. Now we're going to move into fingertip kneading or thumb kneading. Doesn't matter which one that you use, as long as it's comfortable for the size of your hands and the size of your baby. And we're going to fingertip knead on the front of the thigh. Slow, firm, circular pressure from the knee up to the hip. We'll move to the side of the leg now, using that slow, firm pressure. And when you get to the top of the hip, I want to make sure that if your baby's wearing a diaper, that you're sliding your thumb underneath the waistband of the diaper, because the muscles that attach at the top of the hip into the leg are sitting underneath those. So we want to make sure that we're massaging those as well. So that slow, firm, circular pressure from the knee up to the top of the hip and sliding underneath the edge of the diaper to get those muscles that are hiding underneath. Then you're going to use the web space of your thumb and your first finger, and we're going to do a milking action from the knee to the hip. Again, that slow, firm pressure. That looks great. And then the inner part of the thigh. From the knee up to the top of the hip. Stopping at the line of the diaper. And coming back to the knee and circling up to the top of the hip again. We're going to circle around where the kneecap would be. For little ones that are under about 4 or 5 months, they don't have kneecaps yet. Kneecaps are a bone that develops through irritation and weight bearing. So one of the fun things about massage for you is that you get to explore that with your little one and actually start to feel that bone developing as they start to do more tummy time, as they start to pull themselves up on their knees, and eventually as they're starting to crawl and pull them up into standing position. Okay, we'll come down to the lower part of the leg. I want you to draw an imaginary line from the center of the knee down to the middle toe. The muscle in the front of the leg is on that outside portion of that lower leg. This inside portion is mostly bone with a little bit of skin over top of it. So when we're doing our work, we're going to do most of the work on that outside half. This is where you're going to use more pressure because the muscle is sitting underneath there. On the inside half, we won't use as much pressure because we don't want to be pressing too hard into the bone. So again, fingertip kneading or thumb kneading, whichever is more comfortable for you, from the ankle up to the knee. Sometimes thumb feels more comfortable. And then switching to the other side from the ankle up to the top of the knee. Great. We'll use that same milking action using the web space of your thumb and your first finger to milk the gastroc muscle or the calf muscle on the back of the leg. Always checking in with your little one. I'm sure that they're engaging very well. All right, now we're going to move to ringing over the bridge of the foot. So a thumb motion going back and forth over the bridge of the foot. And then coming down to the bottom of the foot. This baby's quite flexible, but I'm just bringing the leg up a little so that you can see the bottom of the foot. Some thumb circles on the bottom of the foot. You'll notice that while you're working on the foot, the toes will either curl in or they'll curl out, and that's a great way of knowing that your baby's neurological development is forming. It can also be a reflex point. So if you find that your little one gets really irritated when you are massaging their feet, they might be telling you that it's too much. It's like when you get the doctor testing your reflex at your knee, too much irritation there can cause that same kind of sensation for them. So if they start to get fussy, they might just have had enough. Okay, and we're going to come down to the toes, and we're going to do a little rhyme. Rhyming is great for language development. This little piggy went to the market. this little piggy stayed home, this little piggy had roast beef or tofu, and this little piggy had none, and this little piggy went wee, 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 all the way home. Nice. We'll finish off with that effleurage, and then we're going to move on to the other leg and repeat the same thing on the other side. So if you need to, you can get a little bit more oil on your hand, and then we'll get started. Again, that effleurage. And then thumb kneading or fingertip kneading, whatever is more comfortable for you, from the knee to the top of the thigh, or the top of the hip on the front of the thigh. Then thumb or fingertip kneading on the outside of the thigh. Slow, firm pressure. Remind yourself to slow down. They like that slow, firm pressure. Sliding your thumb underneath the edge of the diaper if their diaper is on, so that you can get the muscles on the side of the hip that attach into the leg. Milking on the back of the thigh, on the hamstring muscle from the knee to the back of the hip. Slow and firm, slow it down. That looks good. And then on the inside of the thigh, starting at the knee and stopping as soon as you get to the edge of the diaper. Well done. And little circles around the kneecap or where the kneecap might be. Now, some of you, your babies might be a little bit older than the 0 to 4 months. That's usually when most parents are coming in. We're going to come down to the lower part of the shin, again, drawing that line from the midline of the knee down to that middle toe and doing the thumb circles. If your little one is older, then you want to make sure that you have a toy or something nearby that can help them to be engaged in something. A lot of the time you're probably finding changing diapers, trying to do anything. Get your little one dressed is hard enough if they are distracted because they want to be moving. So if you have a toy or something that they can play with, then that will help them to stay focused when they're a bit older. You may also find, as your little ones start to get older, that they become quite disengaged from being able to handle a full body massage the way that we're practicing today. And so in those times, that's when you're going to start to just do bits and pieces of massage, where you might just get an arm in or you might just get a leg in. My daughter was very much like that. She loved the full body massage in the first little bit. We're going to move into ringing onto the top of the foot. And then she went through a stage where I could only massage her while I was nursing, and it was usually just an arm or a leg at the time. And then I want to say it was around 18 months, she would start to bring me the bottle of oil, and she would bring me the blanket, and she would lay down and she'd say, "Massage, Mama, I want a massage." So we would start to massage, and she is still very particular about what she likes with her massage. So don't give up. Thumb circles on the bottom of the foot, and then we'll repeat that same rhyme. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef or tofu, and this little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, 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 all the way home. Nice. We'll finish off with that effleurage. And then we're going to move on to the arms. If you need a minute, take a minute. Anytime if you feel like you need a cuddle or your baby needs a cuddle, you can always bring your baby up and have a little bit of a break and have a cuddle, and then we can start back again. All right. Okay, so same thing. We're pretty much repeating everything that we just did on the legs, and we'll repeat those same strokes on the arms. The nice thing about repeating those strokes is you don't have to try to remember things every time that you're doing massage, and it's also really great for the baby because it's predictable. They know what's going to happen next, and babies love things that are predictable. They can anticipate what's happening, and it helps them feel more included and engaged because they know what to expect. So a little bit of oil on your hands again. And we will start with some effleurage. Now, I'm going to lift baby up so that you can see. You're going to leave your baby wherever you are, but I really want to make sure that when you're bringing that effleurage up the arm, that you really wrap your arm around the top of the shoulder so that your fingers are getting into the neck, into the back of the shoulder, and the front of the chest. These muscles are all interconnected with the arm. Pardon me. So you really want to make sure that you're getting all of those muscles right up into the neck and all the way down to the hand. You're also then going to come into the armpit and back down. Sometimes you might even want to switch hands so that your opposite hand is holding it, and then this way you can bring, again, I'm going to lift baby so you can see that your fingertips are coming around the back of the shoulder and your thumb is at the chest so that you can get into the armpit and then back down. Now we're going to focus on the top of the shoulder and do some fingertip kneading or some thumb kneading. This is over the deltoid muscle, that's that shoulder cap muscle. We're going to come down into the upper arm. I usually use my thumb and my finger on the front of the arm and the back of the arm, switching into that inside part of the arm so that we can really focus on those muscles at the chest and the shoulder blade. That looks good. Nice job, parents. And then coming down to the forearm, we're going to do some thumb circles on the front of the forearm. This is the back of the forearm, technically. And then we can turn the arm over, encourage a little movement, and do the front of the arm. And then we're going to come down into the hand. So ringing on the back of the hand. And then we'll pull off of each finger and we will count. 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 5 fingers. Nice. We'll do a few little circles on the palm, and you'll notice as soon as you place your thumbs into the palm, their hands are going to grip. That's, again, a reflex because they want to hang on tight. They know that they're supposed to do that. So you'll get that grip in, and then you can just encourage a little bit of palm opening in there. But don't worry about it too much because the grip is a healthy thing that we're seeing. We're going to come back out again with that effleurage, and then we'll move over to the other arm. And I'm going to sing a song with this arm because we're repeating the same things that we have just done on the other 3 limbs. When you're singing, as I said before, singing is a really great way of introducing language, introducing rhyme, socialization, eye contact, facial expression. We usually look quite happy when we're singing. So that's a really great way of engaging with your baby and playing and having fun with your baby. And it's also a great way of getting baby to focus in again. So you can sing anything to the tune of Frere Jacques. You can change your diaper, you could do the dishes, you can massage to the tune of Frere Jacques. So I'm going to go through singing Frere Jacques, the tune of Frere Jacques, with massaging the little one's arms. And we'll repeat everything that we've just done. Massage your arm, yes we are, yes we are. Calm and soothing baby, yes you are, yes you are. Massage your arm, yes we are, yes we are. Calm and soothing baby, yes you are, yes you are. Nice. So we're doing that thumb circles on the forearm. And then again, thumb circles on the inner forearm. We'll count the fingers first. 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 5 fingers. Nice. Now you'll probably notice that I'm not massaging in the same order on each hand, and that's okay. We can shake it up throughout the massage. That can be really helpful so that if you need to shorten the length of your massage, that baby isn't too worried about it because they're like, hey, usually you do all these other things. But it's also nice to know that it's okay if you forget what you need to do or what needs to happen next, and you just pick up wherever you were and keep going. Finishing off with effleurage on the arm. And I'm going to teach you a new song for some range of motion of the arm. All right. Baby's hands are up and baby's hands are down. Baby's hands are dancing all around the town. Dancing on your shoulders, dancing on your head, dancing on your tummy, then put them down to bed. Baby's hands are up and baby's hands are down. Baby's hands are dancing all around the town. Dancing on your shoulders, dancing on your head, dancing on your tummy, then put them down to bed. So now we are going to start to work on the belly and the trunk. So we're going to get a little bit of oil on your hands again. And we're going to start off by doing a slow, continuous stroke from the collarbones down to the hips. Nice, slow, firm movement. Now, a baby is going to tell you instantly if they want to have their belly massaged or not. So one area of the body that it's very, very clear. So as soon as you place your hand on their belly, if they want to have their belly massaged, they're either going to leave their belly exactly where it is and not make any change, or they're going to stick their belly out into your hand and be like, oh, that feels really, really good. They're going to love that. If they don't want to have their belly massaged, they're going to suck it away from you and be like, no, don't touch my belly. That may change from one day to the next, or it may be consistent every time that you massage. They might give you the same cue, but it's important to learn those cues, and this is one of the beautiful reasons why we're doing baby massage, is so that we can actually start to learn our baby's communication and our baby's cues about what they like and what they don't like. So doing this slow, repeated stroke from the collarbones down to the hips, think of it like a waterfall. Just this gently flowing hand that's going from the collarbones down to the hips. Then we're going to move into a technique that's called open book, or can be called open book. You're going to place your hands over the hips and your thumbs are going to go right in the midline of your baby's stomach, kind of around where the belly button is. You're going to gently press into their belly, and then you're going to spread your thumbs out to the side. So think of it like opening a textbook right from the center. You're pressing right into the center, and then you're opening the textbook out to the side. You're going to repeat that technique as many times as you want, as many times as your hands will fit on your baby's chest and abdomen. And we're going to work our way all the way up to those collarbones and across those chest muscles. Those chest muscles work very, very hard to move those upper arms and move those arms around. You can repeat that a couple of times. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to get into some specific belly work. This can be really great for encouraging digestion, easing any gas, and if your baby is a little bit colicky because they're having some gas or digestive issues, these techniques can be really helpful. So the one rule with belly massage is that you're always moving in a clockwise motion. If you are moving in a clockwise motion, then you are encouraging all of that matter to be moving through the large intestine the way we eliminate, in a clockwise motion. If you go counterclockwise, you're gonna push everything back and it's gonna just make baby really uncomfortable and very, very fussy. So always clockwise when you are working your way through the abdomen. So we're starting off with broad general circles on the baby's belly. And then we're going to finger walk the large intestine. So we're just going to encourage a little bit of movement along that large intestine. So you're going to come over to your baby's right hip, your baby's right hip, not your right, baby's right hip. And you're going to do little finger walking up to just where the base of the baby's ribs are. And then you're going to walk your fingers along the base of their ribs. So if you're feeling the ribs under your fingertips, you're too high. You want to come down so that you're underneath the ribs, just on the soft part of their belly. You're going to walk over to your baby's left rib and then walk down to their left hip. So we'll do that a couple of times. Right hip, baby's right, up to their right rib, stop below the rib, walk across the belly to the left rib, staying below the ribs, and then down to the left hip. All right. Next, we're going to encourage a little bit of stretch through that large intestine. So think of it like an elastic band. We're going to stretch out the large intestine a little bit, and then when it recoils naturally, it's going to push everything through. So this is going to help get that gas out. So you're going to come to the baby's left rib this time, and you're going to put your fingers just under their ribs, and you're gently going to press a straight line down to their left hip. This technique is called I love you. So it's like babies reading from their left to right, and we're drawing a capital I. Then we're drawing a capital L by coming over to their right rib, pushing across to their left rib, and then down to their left hip for the love, L for love. Then we come to their right hip, push up to their right rib, over to their left rib, down to their left hip for the capital U for you. I love you. And this time look at your baby while you do it and say, hi baby, love you. Yes, I do. So we'll finish that off by encouraging those circles again on the belly, clockwise circles, and then we'll do a little rhyme. Round and round the garden goes the teddy bear. One step, two step, tickle you under there. Round and round the garden goes the teddy bear. One step, two step, tickle you under there. Nice. All right, good work, everyone. So it's time to turn baby over to have some tummy time and work on the back. So let's take a minute and we'll have a cuddle. We'll have a little check-in, see how your little one is doing, and get yourself sort of set up again so that you're ready to turn baby over, and we'll work on the back. Okay, so this is a wonderful opportunity for tummy time. Tummy time, we know babies can get fussy, especially when they're little. They can get fussy with tummy time because they don't have the strength yet, but tummy time is so important. It's important for getting their eyes to converge so that they can learn how to read later in life and be able to see clearly. It's important to have tummy time so that it encourages the strength in their neck and their back to encourage those natural curves that need to start to form. So it definitely want to encourage tummy time. And this is a really great way of doing tummy time because you're engaging with your baby at this moment. They're not just sitting there lying on their stomach not doing anything. You're actually engaging. We're going to sing. They're going to have some stimulus. They're hopefully then going to learn to associate tummy time with that warm, lovely, nurturing massage that you're about to give. So this can be a great way of encouraging that tummy time. So we're going to get a little bit of oil on your hands, and we're going to get started. Before we start though, positioning. So if your little one is really uncomfortable with this tummy time and is just clearly like, this is not where I want to be right now, you're going to come back and try this type of tummy time another time that you do massage. But in this moment, you can do tummy time with your baby over your lap so they're feeling a little closer. So they're still getting that strength coming in through the back of their neck and through their lower back to encourage those curves. And they can also be learning how to strengthen their neck when they're up on the shoulder like this. So if you need to bring baby up nice and close to you, you can sit up a little bit, have them nice and secure, and you can do all of this massage from this position. And they're still starting to learn how to strengthen the back of their neck and their lower back. Again, I'm going to show you from this position because it's easier for you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. So a little bit of oil on our hands. We're going to start off with that effleurage technique that we've been working with this whole time, that slow continuous stroke. Again, I'm going to lift baby up so that you can see that I want you to bring your fingertips right over the shoulder so that you're touching the collarbones on the front of baby. And your fingers are getting right up into the neck. Coming down to the hips and then back up again. Nice, slow, continuous stroke. Then we're going to move into fingertip kneading on either side of the spine. And let's sing a little song here. Massage your back, yes we are, calm and soothing baby, yes you are, Nice. All right. We're gonna come down to the hips. So if your little one has their diaper on, then what I'd encourage you to do is fold the edge of the top of the diaper as low as you can get it. If your baby doesn't have their diaper on, then you can do all of this work without worrying about it. So we're gonna come down to the hips. The hips are such a beautiful spot to be massaging a little one. These hips work so hard. They're kicking, they're squirming, they're moving, they're doing all these things. This can be a spot that is really, really soothing and for them. I found when I was first massaging my daughter, this is where I would start, because this is where she would actually just relax right away, and she would be so happy that her hips would be done. She still asks me for her hips to be done. Right now she really likes her spine done too, but she really likes to have her hips done. So, so sometimes this might be the place that you actually start if your baby really likes it. So if your baby's diaper is clean, and clean as in there's no poop that's inside that diaper, if it's wet, not a problem, but if it's poopy, you don't want to be putting your thumbs in there. So if it's clean, you're gonna slide your thumbs under the edge of the diaper. If it's not clean or you're not comfortable doing that, then you're gonna use the heel of your hand and you're gonna be massaging over top of the diaper. If your baby's not wearing a diaper, then using the heel of your hand is the technique that you're gonna use, because it's a much more broader contact. So we're doing slow, firm circles right over those hips. Oh, and it usually feels so good for them, because those hips are just working, like I said, they're working so hard. Make sure that you switch into fingertips or thumbs and come underneath the edge of the diaper so you're getting right on the side of those hips. So you can really get into the hips. They don't just sit at the back. They're not just those apple cheeks at the back, but they come around to the side. So you want to get everything right to the gluteal cleft, which is that line down the center of the glute muscles, and all the way over to the side. Nice. All right. We're going to finish off the back by doing a slow sweeping stroke down the back. It's a great way for slowing down the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight system, and really stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest nervous system. All right, little one, come on up. It's time for us to do head and face. Okay, so again, if you're comfortable and you and your baby are happy to be in this position, you're gonna lay baby in front of you. Or if you'd like to have them up close, then you can have them nice and up close. We are going to work on the face, and we're gonna start off by doing a little rhyme. The moon is round as can be, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth like me. So we're going to get into massaging the head. Now, our little ones, especially when they're quite little, we know they have the soft spot at the top of their head where the fontanelle is. You can still massage the whole head. You're just using lighter pressure on the scalp, a little bit lighter than we've been using for the rest of the body. Babies tend to like scalp massage quite a bit. So just broad, general contact with your whole fingers over the scalp. We're gonna come right around the ear, and I really encourage you to get your fingers underneath that ear. Fold that ear forward so you can get right to the fold, right underneath the ear. There's a muscle that's back there that attaches to the jaw. It's called the temporalis muscle, and it's this big fan-shaped muscle on the side of the head, and that's one of the muscles that is working really hard when they are eating. So you really want to massage into there. We're going to come across the top of the head, or the bridge of the head, with the thumbs. You can use fingertips if you'd like to, but you can use broad thumb contact across the bridge of the forehead, coming down the inside of the nose and across under the cheeks. A little bit lower under those cheeks. Yeah. Across the bottom of the cheeks, across the chin. Few thumb circles or fingertip circles. You can smush those cheeks quite a bit, get them smushy, and even come around and do those ears and the earlobes as well. Nice. Now, you may have found that your baby got a little bit fussy while you were working on the face, and maybe even while we were working on the hands. The hands and face are a baby's communication zone. So when we're interfering, in a sense, with those, they're like, hey, this is how I talk to you, and you're trying to hang on to me, or you're trying to touch me. So don't worry if they get a little bit fussy. You can kind of work your way through it. If they get to those clear signs that they're like, do not touch my face and hands, then that's when we're going to stop. But you can always work your way through it with them and help to teach them that it's okay to be in those communication zones so that they feel comfortable. All right. Now we're going to finish off massage again with that slow sweeping stroke that we did on the back of the body. We're going to repeat that on the front of the body. Same technique on the front of the body. And again, this is a great way of soothing that sympathetic nervous system, encouraging the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, to relax. And it also is the signal that you are finishing the massage. So I recommend that you always start and finish your massage the exact same way. Starting by asking, baby, would you like a massage? And then start with your song, and then finishing with those sweeping strokes. The reason for that is that predictability. As I talked about before, babies like predictability. They like to know what comes next. So when you start the same way and you end the same way, it doesn't always matter what you do in between. So some days you might only have 5 minutes to do a massage, and other days you might have a full half an hour or an hour that your baby's really into it. But if you're always doing the same length of time, then they're going to want that, the same length of time. And you know, we all know that we just don't have the time sometimes to be able to do everything. So if you start and finish the same way, then baby knows this is how a massage starts. And then when you finish using those sweeping strokes or whatever you'd like to use to finish, then they'll know, oh, this is what happens when the massage is done. And so they'll be okay knowing that that's the end. So one question that I get frequently with massage or with baby massage is, when should I massage a baby? And my answer to that is, it doesn't matter. Whenever it works for the rhythm of your family. Some people, it works really well for them to do it first thing in the morning. Other families want to have their baby massage happen right at bedtime, where they've gone for a bath and then they do a massage and then straight into bed. So it doesn't matter when. I encourage you to play with it. Figure out for the rhythm of you and your family and the rhythm of your baby what actually feels like the right time of day, and to not worry or stress if it's not happening at the right time for you, or not happening at the same time every day. Another technique that I wanted to show you is a great way of helping to actually, it's a little bit of a magic trick in some cases, but of getting your baby to really calm down and also encourage them to sleep. Now, the key thing with this is that it will only work if your baby is actually ready to fall asleep. So if you want your baby to fall asleep and they're not ready, you will be sitting here doing this technique forever, and it won't work. So it's really when you've learned what those cues are that tell you, oh, baby's ready to fall asleep. They're just about to go into that, to pass out and just be asleep. And this technique is going to encourage the last bit of that. So you're going to have baby up close on your shoulder. And there's two ways that you can do this. You're going to use the heel of your hand, and the first technique is to do a firm pat on their bottom, right over the sacrum. The sacrum is a triangle bone at the bottom of the spine, and it is where one of our parasympathetic nervous system chains are, and that's what we're stimulating. So it's a firm rhythmical stroke or rhythmical pat on their sacrum. Good firm pat, and that baby will start to feel that rhythm and will usually fall asleep within a few, well, if you're lucky, it's within like 30 seconds, but maybe even a couple of minutes of doing this. If that doesn't feel right for you and your body, then you can do the same thing by using the heel of your hand and doing a rocking motion over that sacrum. So placing the heel of your hand in that right over top of that sacrum, the triangular bone at the bottom of the spine, just above the gluteal cleft, so right around the waistband, or a little bit lower than the waistband of your baby's diaper. And you're doing a slow, firm rotation right over top of that sacrum. Nice. So that is our class for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come, and thank you, babies, for taking the time to come and being open to having massage today. You all did really, really well, and I encourage you to keep massaging and yeah, just play with it, have fun, enjoy this time of bonding and learning and encouraging and growing and all of that good stuff together.